Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. So yesterday I posted up the finished video on Field Snake. Today we're working on, I guess we'll call it tea green, right? Green tea, whatever this damn color is called, something like that. So this is a little 91 notchback my son bought about a year ago. A friend of ours in Utah. So we'll call this maybe Project Bought Not Built. How's that? Man, hey, whatever. It is what it is. So a friend of ours had this car built in Utah. Jack Rouse 347 motor, single turbo, build 8.8, 9-inch ends. It's got Wilwood brakes on front of it now. Well, it's got one. We're doing the other side right now. So that's what this video is kind of about. How to install Wilwood brakes. Kind of let's just say their directions are less than, what, Army proof, Air Force proof, whatever you want to call it. Not a lot of pictures. If you're military, you know what I'm talking about. So they don't show a lot of reading and trying to decipher that crap. Just kind of, I don't know, for us simple-minded folks like myself, it's kind of, I'm better shown than anything else. So I'll show you how I did. Right now, you got to modify the factory V8 spindles. You have to cut 2 of the ears off where the factory calipers mount to. You have to drill the hole, tap the hole, and that's kind of a pain in the butt if you don't have the right tools. So luckily, a friend of mine lent me some stuff yesterday on Easter Sunday. Shout out, thanks man, appreciate it. And we got this drilled out super fast. Taps worked awesome. Everything went really smooth after we got the right tools. Right tools for the right job always helps. So I'll show you what I got going on so far on the other side. Show you a little bit about the car. And again, if you got any questions or comments on this kind of install or this kind of work, let me know. Like I said, we bought the car like this, and I'll tell you what, I can tell you our buddy put close to $100,000 in this car, and we saved a ton, or my son saved a ton of money buying this car versus building it. So building it's always fun, but if you can buy something like this that runs the number it runs and is built the way it's built, you can't really go wrong. So quit flapping my gums and show you this car real quick. So I've made a couple videos last year of the car. One was at Bowling Green NMRA end of last year. We're heading to Rockingham, North Carolina in a couple days. I'm going to try to run the car down there, see what it does down there. Last year he got his NHRA license at Bowling Green. He had these wheels custom made for the car by Whole Shot. Beadlock wheels, pretty badass little rims. Had a different set on it when he got it. So as you can see, it's got the 325/50s on the back. They are radials. So it is a street car. It's registered, got a plate on it. So this is the Wilwood on this side. Got this side done yesterday. Looks pretty good. Got tube loop K-member, coilovers, 850 cert cage. There's the motor. I said it's a Jack Rouse built 347 single turbo. What size is the turbo on this thing? I don't know.
I can't remember exactly. I know it's a Garrett 40.
So yeah.
The actual millimeter size.
Anybody? That's the turbo on it. Oop, hold on. I'm not. So that's the turbo. Got the little shield on there, heat shield. We did a lot of work to this last year after we bought it. One of the shops that worked on it out there in Utah is not. I don't know. We'll just leave it at that. What do they say? That's all I got to say about that. So we'll leave it at that. So we fixed a lot of stuff that was done kind of incorrectly. So far on this side, this is what we got. I started this tap on this side to show you how fast this thing cuts. I mean, this thing, it zipped right through. This is some good, high quality, what do they say? High quality tools right here. Anything that can cut through that cast like that fast is amazing. So, these pieces need to be cut off on the Wilwood kit right here. Use those saws on that and zipped right through. And then this ear up here has to be cut off. That's the first step. Then you use your dust shield holes. They have to be drilled and tapped to accept the Wilwood caliper bracket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get that put on. And then once I get that installed, I'll show you what we got as far as getting the rotors and all that stuff done. So I'll get that installed, get the rotor put together, show you the torque specs, how the rotor goes together, because my dumb ass put the rotor, can go on either way. The directions are not the best, like I said. Picture would always help. So I'll get that installed, show you what it looks like in kind of the right direction. I had to take it back off the other side and flip the rotor around because it can bolt on either direction. It doesn't really matter. So again, if you're watching the video, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And let me get this thrown on there, and then I'll show you what we got. All right, so sitting here on the floor, I got the holes drilled, tapped. I got the plate mounted up. So there are instructions on the actual caliper bracket itself that the caliper bolts to on the Ford spindle. It tells you to install all 3 bolts, tighten them down, and then back them out and put red Loctite on them one at a time. And then the torque specs is 40 pounds. So I'll show you that real quick. So this is the spindle. As you can see, look how nice those threads tapped out. Just like awesome. So anyway, so yeah, you tighten these down. So I've already tightened them down. Just basically a couple ugga-duggas, make sure they're tight against so they're all seated equally around the bracket. And then you back them out one at a time. You do red Loctite, and then you torque them down to 40 foot-pounds. So that's the actual bracket itself. You can see where I cut the spindle here, and I cut the spindle back here. So far, that's the bracket. I'm going to get that torqued down. I'll get the rotor assembled because the rotor is 3 pieces. I'll get that put together, get the bearings repacked because they send the kit. The bearings repacked because they send the kit with new wheel bearings, new seals, and all that other stuff. So again, thanks for watching, and stay with me. We get this knocked out. All right, so got the hub assembled. So these are really nice brakes for what they cost. I think you paid $8 for the whole set. Now you do have to assemble the rotor, like I said before. I'll show you real quick. The studs, I just use my 1/4-inch drive zip cordless impact, zip them through, put some Loctite at the very end, and torqued everything down. The studs torque at 70 foot-pounds. The rotor itself torques at 30, but I'm hitting them at 35. And then the adapter for the rotor to the hub is 45 pounds. So let's check it out. This rotor, this is the back side. Now what I did the first time, if you see this recess, I had that on the front, so I had to flip it around. I did look at the directions again. There is a picture that's kind of decent. You can kind of make it out, but not very well. So like I said, the instructions aren't. The studs right here, they go in first. Just zip them through, left about, I don't know, a 1/2 inch sticking out. Put red Loctite on there, thread them through by hand, and then torque them all down to 70 foot-pounds, of course in the star pattern. Again, like I said, they send new inner outer wheel bearings, new seal for the bearings, and they got high temp grease right there. And those are the Wilwood pads. And the caliper is over here. Get it out anyway. Calipers right here. So these are 4-piston, 2 bleeder screws, so you got to bleed the inner and outer bleeder screw to get all the air out. So got that mock all put together. The rotor's assembled. I'm going to pack the wheel bearings with some grease. Yeah, pack, that's what I said. So I'll get the wheel bearings done. I'll get the rotor mounted. I'll get it tightened down. Kind of show you the correct way to tighten rotors on that. Everybody's got different methods. The military has vehicle maintenance for a long time. They showed you when you're young how to repack wheel bearings and how to tighten a wheel bearing and all that stuff. So yeah, how that goes. So if you're watching the video, appreciate you watching. Subscribe, that's awesome too. Let's keep this going. All right, so I got the rotor on the spindle, got the socket all set up. I'll show you my little, this is how we were trained in the Air Force. Show you how to do this. So got that all in. Got the old big old 1/2-inch drive ratchet. Normally what we do is spin the rotor, and as you're spinning the rotor, tighten the ratchet down. I normally get it as tight as I can get it, and then back it off 1/4 turn. That normally sets a preload on the bearing as good as you're gonna want it. So yeah. Oops, what's wrong with me? Yeah. So that's that for the rotor. I'm gonna get I got the safety cap that goes on top of the castle nut, the new cotter pin, and these cool Wilwood brakes. It's a threaded on dust cap. It's pretty nice. It's got a O-ring around it, keep the stuff out of it. And that's it. Get the caliper put on, got a new braided line, get the brakes bled, and we'll show you what it looks like when it's done. So if you're watching this video, again, thanks for watching. I'll get this caliper on here, get the brakes bled, and show you what it looks like when it's finished, like I just said. And when we get the car back on the ground, we get everything put back together. We got some of the interior tore apart. He's taking a few things out of the car that shouldn't even need to be there. Putting the computer in the factory spot. The bracket they made is shit, pretty much. So getting that straightened out. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll be right back with you. All right, so we got the brakes assembled and they're on the car. We got the brakes bled. He's inside doing a Motion Raceworks quick release steering hub with a Momo steering wheel. That's fitting pretty good. Everything looks nice. Like I said, he bought this car last year, and the car's got a Holley HP setup on it. He installed the Fox Body instrument cluster last year when we were down at Mustang Week. That turned out really nice. And when they built this car, they mounted that system kind of half-ass on the heater box, and the heater box doesn't have anything in it. The blower motor doesn't work. None of that works. So yesterday, he tore the dash apart, pulled the heater box out, and today he was remounting the Holley computer where the stock ECM would go. Looks pretty good. Right now he's mounting the steering wheel. That's why I was doing the brakes, kind of tag teaming it, because there's a lot of stuff he wanted to get done before we went down there. Now we are going to put a chute on the car. I know that sounds like overkill, but when we ran this car last year at 12 pounds of boost at Bowling Green, the car went like, was it 146? 140, 144, something like that on 12 pounds. The car's built to make 26 to 28 pounds. He's learning how to drive the car. So if we get down to Rockingham and we turn the boost up on the car to 18 or 22 or 23 pounds, it's going to run well over 150. So if we get down there and run over 150 at that event, they're going to kick him out without a chute. It's something you have to have. I didn't think it would ever need one, but I guess that's what they're doing now. So again, I'll show you this Motion Raceworks, not sponsored. We've been putting a lot of parts on this car from y'all. So, you know, if you're looking for some redneck to help y'all out, let me know. So we'll show you what we got here on the Momo steering wheel and the quick release inside the car, and the Wheelwood brakes assembled. So let me show you the Wheelwoods first. All right, so this is what they look like. I got the new braided line installed, caliper, rotor, spindles all done, bled the brakes. Now, on these bleeder screws right here, the lower nut part of that bleeder screw, that is not where you loosen it up to bleed the brakes. It does look like it, but it's not. I'm a dumbass, and that's what I did the first time. This little nut that looks like a nut on top, that's the one you use. It's 1/4 inch. I wouldn't think it would be that small, but it is. So just make sure you bleed the back side and the front side to get all the air out. So once you do that, it worked really, really well. So we're going to go bleed the brakes one more time. When we do, we've got another, I think there's a, let's see. I think there's a, what's that covering we got to put on the transmission? It's a safety shield that's got to run a transmission that doesn't have that. So we've got to put that on there tomorrow as well. Show you the steering wheel real quick. Looks kind of cool. So this little Momo steering wheel, we got the Motion Raceworks center cap in there. He's gonna move the line lock to the steering wheel. It's on the shifter right now, and it's just not where he wants it. So that's the bracket for the parachute. He's got all the cable and the pull handle and all that shit's got to get installed. So yeah, that's what we got going on today on Monday. So again, took some time off from posting. You know, I traveled out to California. It's a 5,000-mile round trip. Just, you know, doing some things other than making videos. So that's just kind of what I like to do. You know, I was getting a little burnout. Project Field Snake was almost done. She's done now, so I can focus on some other stuff. He wanted to go down to this event. We spent 10 years in Fayetteville, North Carolina when he was little. So I used to run my 79 pace car out there at Fayetteville all the time, Friday nights. And then we'd go to Fayetteville had a Freaky Friday. I used to run it at, and then I'd go to Rockingham Dragway every Friday night and, you know, run bracket racing out there. So that's what I used to do a lot when I was younger. So he never got to run at that track, so he wanted to go to this event. And since he's already running NMRA a couple times, we figured why not. So again, thanks for watching this video. Thanks for subscribing. If you hadn't subscribed, please do so. And if you got any questions, you can leave them below. foxjunk73@gmail.com, or, you know, if you like the video, thumbs up. If you don't like it, just let me know why. I appreciate that. Rather than give it a thumbs down, let me know why, and I'll do what I can to accommodate everybody. So again, thanks for watching, and you all have a good day.